Hello, River of God. There's been some new information and guidelines from the Department of Health, CDC, and our governor in the last few weeks. Because of this, we've been reviewing these updates and prayerfully considering what changes that would imply for River of God Church. In this video, we'll be discussing with you what will be changing and what will be staying the same for our church on campus in this next phase of our reopening. Governor Wolf has announced that as of May 31st, 2021, all COVID mitigation orders will be lifted in Pennsylvania. The masking order, however, will remain in place until June the 28th, or when 70% of PA citizens are vaccinated, whatever comes first. Because of the rising numbers of immune and vaccinated people in our church and our desire to cooperate with government safety procedures, we'll be updating River of God's COVID measures as we enter into this next phase of reopening our church. As of this Sunday, June the 6th, you'll be seeing the following changes. All signage, lanes, and door restrictions will be lifted. People will be able to mingle in the foyer, sanctuary, and hallways, as well as using whatever doors are most convenient. The CDC and the Mayo Clinic has also announced that COVID transmission via surfaces and touch is much less likely than previously thought, so you'll be able to enter and leave the sanctuary without needing to be dismissed by ushers or having doors open for you. For teams, we're going to be returning to our normal policy for glove wearing. Check with your team leader to see what that means for your role. As of June the 6th, we'll no longer need to check temperatures for kids, youth, or team members serving at ROG. We have not had to ask anyone to leave due to a fever in the last year, so we feel confident and trusting that anyone who's not feeling well would stay home in order to reduce the risk of spreading illness to others. Youth students will check in the back in the fellowship hall with no temperature checks required. Parents will continue to check in their children at the check-in station in the lobby with no temperature check required. While we're excited to be taking these steps forward, our church leadership recognizes that there's still risk of COVID transmission and that people are still getting this illness. We've done our best to cooperate with government and health officials over the past year, so we're going to continue to follow their guidance in this next phase of our reopening. So while some things are changing on June the 6th, some things will be staying in place for the time being. It's our desire to cooperate with health and government officials, so we'll encourage unvaccinated individuals to wear masks when entering and exiting our services until the masking mandate is lifted on June 28th or earlier. This applies to those attending our services as well as all of our team members. If any person has been fully vaccinated, they don't need to wear a mask while attending or serving at ROG. If you have not been vaccinated, we are encouraging you to continue mask wearing until the mask mandate is lifted on or before June 28th. Now, as a church, I'm asking you to continue to show love to everyone who's a part of our church, whether they have a mask on or not, or whether or not they've been vaccinated or not. This is not a moral absolute or a heaven or hell issue we're talking about here. Some people are unable to receive vaccinations. Some people are unable to wear masks due to health concerns. Some folks, due to their conscience and how they feel about things, won't wear a mask or won't get a vaccination. And yet we're trusting that each person would pray and do what they feel is right for them between themselves and God. And so there's no judgment from us if you respond differently or feel differently. I'm asking, as your pastor, that you do your part to be welcoming and loving to everyone who's a part of River of God Church. Remember, we are relationship focused. It's one of our core values. Let's prioritize being a loving community and keeping our eyes on Jesus. There's a few other things that we'd like to continue to do for the time being. We're going to continue our heightened cleaning and sanitizing procedures between services and classes in our building. We'll be holding off on the coffee bar and hosting communal meals in our building at this time, and we're hoping to restore these in the fall. We're excited to be moving closer to the goal of lifting all COVID procedures, and yet our leadership wants to continue to act in wisdom for the honoring of governmental and the safety of those who attend River of God Church. Please continue to pray for our pastor, staff, and deacon board as we continue to navigate this journey. There's a lot to consider and pray through. Our church leadership humbly asks for your cooperation and support of what is being asked and put in place. Let us continue to honor and love one another, giving preference to one another as we gather to worship the Lord. We want to be a place where life and healing flow, not just during good times, but also during pandemics and confusing times as well. Thank you for your patience and your prayers as we continue to navigate the situation. We look forward to the next phase of our reopening here at River of God Church. God bless you.